Bom dia, pessoas. Bem-vindo, Agrishow. Meu nome Mega Ag Gringo. I'm here with Steve Kastning from Duckfoot. Very pleased to be able to spend some time with Steve and discuss his business and products that he's developed for the agricultural market. The podcast is Good or Not, Agrocast, that we're doing. When you have time, check it out. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about your products, yourself, that sort of thing. How'd you get started with your products?
I got started on my own farm is how the idea started. We grow a shorter crop called lentils.
Okay.
And we have lots of header loss and inefficiencies of how I was feeding the machine, and I was pretty frustrated about it.
Sure.
Had my wife, Krista, was sitting in the cab with me, and I was expressing my
frustrations.
Yeah. And she said, well, let's do something about it. And so that's kind of how the idea all started. And just the lentils it's a high value crop, so there's a lot of money being left on the ground.
Okay.
And I wanted to, obviously put that in my pocket rather than leave it there for the birds. So
how long was it from that time to when you started commercially selling the product?
It was about 2 years. So 2015 was kind of the idea. 2016 we started testing on my farm and a couple of my neighbor friends as well to get it to make sure it was working really well before we put it out to the public. And then 17 we did a few final touches and had our first sales, and that was actually internationally through social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the product, how many different designs you go through before you kind of ended up where you said, hey, no, we're going to call this Duckfoot? Just curious.
It's the bottom style. We made a few changes to it, and there's one that was kind of similar, but they always had to remove and replace the factory tine.
Right.
And then it was very flimsy and flexible, and there was kind of edges and crop would flip, and their configuration, I ran them and I didn't like them. And
okay.
It was for a heart card reel. I ended up buying a Macdon for my farm, and then there was nothing out there for Macdon. I grew multiple crops, so I needed something because I thought I'd just put it on for my lentils, and then we would take them off. And so that's how it all kind of started. I wanted to slide right over and then be able to take it off and be quick and easy.
So you have a couple samples there.
Yeah.
Take a look at that.
Sure.
I think I just lost my microphone. Pause it. It's back there.
Pause, yeah.
Okay. Continue on? Okay. So you have a couple samples. Oh. Okay. So you have a couple samples here. So just with these samples, like how would it differ in terms of placement, or how would you place it onto a header?
So there's a clip system on top. So these slide right over the existing tine. There's a cavity in here. It goes right on. And then this clips onto the reel pipe. And then you put this to further secure it.
Okay.
The bottom is the same on every single model that we have. Currently we have 4 models. And we're working on another 4. So the paddle always stays the same because that's the efficiency part of the whole product. This changes the style of the finger depending on the pipe size. So this is generally what we have to change for different models.
Okay.
But we keep our paddle and everything the same.
So basically it's I guess I could say tool-free installation.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's awesome.
Yeah,
so
no tools required. Takes for easy figuring, it's about a minute per foot to install. We go on every second time, and then you offset throughout the whole reel. So, 40-foot header is going to take 2 guys about 30 minutes to install.
Okay, great. So you put these on. You mentioned you're having a lot of loss on your own operation. So what would be? I know it's hard to know, but what crops can it be used with, and what would be sort of an average reduction in loss with Duckfoot installed?
So depending on what crop it is, but for here in Brazil, one of the big ROIs, return on investments, is soybeans.
Okay.
All the testing that I've done in Brazil so far, our average I use 1 sack our average is probably closer to 1.5 to 2, but for simplicity, it's 1 sack.
Minimum one.
Minimum one, yeah. And then we're also increasing ground speed on the flatter type areas. You'll increase some ground speed, and our average ground speed increase is 20%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So besides the reduction in loss, you can increase the speed, so you can harvest more acres or hectares, basically.
Yeah.
In the same period of time.
So burning less fuel, less hours on the machine, less hours on the grain carts, and the guys sitting in the machines too as well. So yeah,
I think I'd heard you talking about that part of it, because loss, once you know the loss, the math is easy. If you calculate the value per sack, the time aspect, how do you how do you see that as a return on investment for a farm operation?
Yeah, I'm not sure what in Brazil what guys would use for calculation for how many dollars per hour it costs them to run their machine, but in Canada we use $500 an hour. So every 100 hours, it's 20 less hours.
Okay.
$500 an hour, it's 10 grand on every 100 that they're saving.
Okay, great. So currently we're at AgriShow. You've been working in Brazil, trying to develop the market for duckfoot.
Yeah.
We can talk about Brazil a little bit, but where else are you selling duckfoot currently?
So we sell obviously in Canada, my home country, the U.S., Australia, Germany, Czech, Slovakia, Kazakhstan, South Africa. So about, I think it's eight other countries, 10 with Canada and the U.S.
And that's just lasts how many years then?
We officially launched in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's grown pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Great. Oh,
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
What's some of the typical customer feedback you get, or just they give you a hug, they're saving so much money, or what's kind of the feedback you get?
Usually it's the smile on the face.
Yeah.
And, they see it right away. Like as soon as we install them, you get in the cab with them and do the few settings that we need to do with the duckfoot, and right away they notice it's a lot less wad feeding. So with soybeans you'll get the wump wump wump.
Right.
You get stripping, it just feeds the machine a lot better, which every time a wad goes through a machine, those are losses out the back that, are hard to calculate. So the one thing in soybeans, 80% of the losses in soybeans are at the header, and the rest is out the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. You always think it's going to be coming out the back because you see all the stuff that's coming out, but it's just the garbage from harvest. But most of it's at the front.
Yeah, there's a little bit of loss sometimes. With depending on concaves, you can have some losses out the combine, but a lot of it's header loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So Brazil, have you been to AgriShow before?
No, I've never been to this show.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's some of your impressions of AgriShow, just Brazil in general?
Yeah, AgriShow is a big show.
Okay.
No question about that. A lot of people here. There's a lot of stuff to see, and it's on a different level than what I would say at home at some of our outdoor shows. It's really big. A lot of things are undercover where at our one in Saskatchewan, everything's open, like it's not in buildings like what we're sitting in here today.
Okay.
And Brazil in its own, it's I enjoy myself. I've been here. This will be my 7th or 8th time into Brazil now. I've been actively trying to get into Brazil since 2019. I guess was my first introduction into Brazil through a header manufacturer here. So I love the people, love the food, love the culture.
Okay,
I really like it here. Yeah,
great. Any recommendations you have for just could be for ag or just people that want to come to Brazil? Anything you thought, hey, I wish I would have known this before I came to Brazil the first time?
Well, on the business side,
or both, yeah, just in general, and then
I'll go to Brazilian steakhouse for sure.
Okay, yep,
that's different than what we have at home. Their food's great here. There's lots to see here. The farms. If you can have the opportunity to go to a farm, I'd highly recommend it. It's different. The logistics are a lot harder here. They're using mini tote bags for fertilizer, and so they got to handle a lot of stuff. And the infrastructure, it's a lot different than what we have. So, the traffic's interesting to say the least, especially in the big cities. Yep. But it's on the business side of it. you really have to do your homework on the tax importations and that side of it, and having an expert like yourself that knows it around. Get yourself involved with somebody that knows that, because it's a whole other ballgame over here when it comes to taxes and importation. So
okay, no, it's really interesting. Really appreciate you taking the time to be here, be at Agri Show, that sort of thing, and wish a lot of success for Duckfoot and yourself.
Yeah. And thanks for having us. We, appreciate all the hard work you've done for us and our company as well, and helping introduce us even to more customers and farmers and dealers and everything else here. So I appreciate
great.
it. Thanks,
thanks, Steve.
Ciao.
Ciao.